Well, welcome to 35 to 1 Roulette Cruising. We've got another strategy sent in by Mike. It's called Comp Force 90. It's a $400 buy-in. Let's see how it goes. So Mike sent me this strategy. It's a $400 buy-in. It's a $90 average. It's really for comps, in my opinion. I've spun this thing out. I've gone 50 spins with it. I pretty well broke even the entire time. So let's see how it goes. So $400 buy-in. Remember, cash on the table with CPass card. They scan it, give it back to you. That's how you get your points on the cruise. All right, so we're going to be playing with red chips, which are $5 chips. All right, so we have $400 here. Now the setup for this is a $90 average. Just put that there off to the side. So let's go ahead and let's get us a $90 stack here. All right, so we're going to go $30 on 1 to 18. We're going to go $20 on the black, $20 on the third dozen, and $10 and $10 on the second and third column there. All right, so with this strategy, the way it's set up, you've really got three numbers that are complete bust numbers. Okay, so you're looking at your 0, double 0, obviously, because they don't have anything bet on them. 19 is another bust number because you lose it on this, you lose it on the black, you lose it there, and you lose it on the column, so that's a complete bust. Okay, now there's some good, jackpot numbers with this one. Down here, the 2, 6, 8, 11, 15, up to 17. So all the black numbers on this end, especially in these two columns, that's a $40 profit, okay? The red numbers in those two columns is a push, okay? So you're kind of in good shape down here with the black numbers here, especially 26, 29, 33, and 35. Those, again, are going to be a $40 profit. So you've got some good profit numbers on here. You've got a lot of push numbers in here. It's able to survive a lot of spins from what I've experienced so far. So let's spin it out. Let's see how we can, if we can stay at the table and make us some points off of it. That's kind of what we're trying to do here. It's why it's called Comp Force 90. It's a $90 buy-in. And we're going to take those points by force. Let's see what happens here. All right, so 1. All right, so we lost the columns, lost here, lost the black. All right, so right out the gate, we lose $30. Okay, but it's okay because this system has shown that it can recover fairly well. All right, again, we're 30, 20, 20, 10, and 10 again. All right, 15. So here we go. So we won on the black. We won on the 1 to 18. We lost here. We lost that column, so let's go ahead and pay it out. And we get $20 right there. And then we have $30 right there. All right, so now we're just going to reset. We're going to bring all of our profit right here. $20 right there and right here. All right, so there's that $40 profit that I was talking about. So those black numbers in that section over there are going to pay you $40. Okay, 28. All right, so where this is going to, it's not going to hurt us. But, all right, so we only went on the black in the third dozen there. So let's reset. 20, 20. All right, that's only a $10 profit on that 28 right there. So 28 and 31 is only going to be a $10 profit. All right, but it's a little bit of profit. Okay, 13. All right, so lose there, lose that. We went on the black right there. All right, that is another $10 profit. Reset. Bring that $10 back to our rack. All right, there's our first bust. Okay, so that's a $90 loss right there. So we're just going to go ahead and pay $90 to the dealer there. All right, but not too much to worry about. You know, when I spun this out, and you know, I had over those 50 spins, I think I had 3 busts the entire time, and I finished like $60 down. So went 50 spins and only $60 down. So it can recover. So just kind of hang with it. All right, so we know the 28 and 31, that's a $10 profit. So we'll go ahead and collect that $10 back to our rack here. Okay, 7. All right, we'll lose the black. Lose there, lose there, lose there. All right. So that's a $30 loss right there. So let's reset. 30, 20, 20, 10, and 10 again. All right, 21. Not exactly a good one. This whole area here is kind of a bad area because you lose this 1 to 18. We lost the black there. We lost there. We lost that. That is a loss of $60 right there on that 21. So now just reset. 20, 20, and 30. All right, 2. Okay, so that's going to pay a $40 profit right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and pay that $40. All right, go ahead and bring that back to our rack. And hopefully we can get on a good run and start replenishing our rack. We're down 100 and probably 120 bucks, give or take, right now. Okay, 17. All right, that's a good one there. So let's pay that. All right, we got it on this 1 to 18 there, and we got the extra 10 down there on them columns. Okay. Now let's reset. There's that $40 profit. Bring it back to our rack. All right, 14. Okay, so we won right there. We lost that, lost that. That is a push. All right. All right, so we're on spin 11 right here. So we've gone 10 spins. We've survived 10 spins. We're down like, I don't know, 50 bucks, 50 or 60 bucks at the moment. Okay, 29. All right, that's a good one. All right, let's go ahead and pay it out just to confirm. It should be a $40 profit. Okay. All right, so there's that $40 profit right there. All right, I got a 0. All right, that's another $90 per loss right there. Just when we started to recover the earlier loss, it got us. All right, 20. All right, we lost that. Got it right there. All right, that is a $20 loss right there. And like I said, these 6 numbers here are kind of your bad area, to be honest. All right, 8. Okay, so that's going to be a $40 profit right there. All right, 2. Another $40 profit. All right, 12. All right, lose that, lose that. There's 30 there. And we went on that column there, so there it is. That's a push. All right, 35. That is a $40 profit again. All right, 19. There's one of our bus numbers. Like I said, 0, 00, and 19, because it loses on here, 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 and all those, okay? So there's that $90 loss. Now we reset. 30, 20, 20, 10, and 10 again. And at this point, we're down $110 right now. All right, 32. Let's see, so we lose that right there. And there, so that's a push. All right. All right, 30. And again, I think it's the same thing. I think it's a push. All right, it's a push. All right, so we've gone 20 spins with it. We're down $100, give or take, is where we're at right now, is $100 down. Now, our average has been $90 the entire time. So, you know, we're at close to 180 to 200 points for 20 spins. Now, I really want to push it forward. I really want to go out to 50 spins again just to see if it can survive. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and run it all out. And when I either go broke or when I get to 50 spins, I'll be back with you. So here we go. We're about to hit fast forward. All right, so there we have it. So I went 50 spins with it. Now, we had a rough patch in the 20s. So, you know, from spin 21 to 26, so we had some pretty bad losses in that area. And then I recovered everything and actually got into profit until I got into the 40 spins. So like 41, 42, 43, we had a couple of zeros in a row. Okay, so that hurts pretty bad. But we finished with we had a $400 buy-in. We finished with $180. Okay, so that's a $220 loss over 50 spins. Now, I feel like if I continue to push on, I could recover that, because it's like it goes in cycles and seems to recover well, because I got down to maybe $160 at one point. If I'd had one more loss, I wouldn't have been able to make another bet. But it recovered, and then it just kind of, we hit some good numbers all in a row and recovered nearly everything. So it seems to hold up well long term. Now, no guarantees. If you get on a table that's running some hot zeros, you're going to get in trouble. But you only have 3 numbers exposed. But the other problem is this whole section here is trouble. If you get on a hot section of hitting these numbers, 21's bad, 19 of course is bad. None of these are any good at all. Okay, so let's talk about it a little bit. So that is Comp Force 90 that Mike sent over, and that's because it's a $90 average. Now you couldn't really play this with $2 chips because you can't make table minimum. Okay, with only having 2 chips down here, and 4 chips and 4 chips, you really can't make table minimum with it. So you have to play this one with $5 chips. So that's kind of the direction to go with that. All right, so let's talk about ratings. All right, so as far as comp value goes for this one, comp value I feel is excellent. It's a really good comp strategy that Mike has sent over to us. So if you can remember, $30, $20, $20, 10, and 10, okay? So it's pretty easy to set out, but comp value for this one's gonna be a 5. I would definitely sit down and play this one at the $90 level. Now you could increase that if you wanted to. You could push it up to go $180 on the table if you wanted to try that. You know, and you might could even go up one more level. I mean, you could probably go 270 on the table and run it. You know, it's just according to how your bankroll can handle that kind of loss, okay? Now, as far as buying in for $400, I would just buy in for $200 with this strategy and run it and just see what happens, okay? Because last time, or most of the time, you're only working with that first $200. So the second 200 is just kind of sitting there waiting. So you could run this at 200 with a $200 buy-in. So if you wanted to test it out, that's probably what I would do, is run it at $200. Okay, so a 5 on comp value. Profitability for this one. Profitability for this one, I would not play this expecting to make profit. There has been not once that I've really got into profit. It's one of them strategies where you're putting that $90 at risk and you're just kind of playing in that zone the entire time. That's how I feel the strategy is developed. There's no profit to be made with it unless you get, you know, on a really good run of hitting them $40 profits. But chances of that are slim. So as far as profitability goes, I'm going to give it a 1. I hate to give it a 1 because there is potential there, but it's not one that's been proven. I've gone 100 spins with it so far, and in total, 220 plus the 60 that I lost earlier, you know, so $280 loss out of a $400 bankroll and 100 spins. That's really good. That is really good. And, you know, back to our comp value on this one, we're at $90 for 50 spins. So that's 450 points that we possibly could have earned with a loss of $220. That's pretty good points for that kind of loss. So anyways, profitability, just 1. All right, ease the setup for this one. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. Once you see it one time and because we're not increasing, we're not decreasing, we're not moving, we're not doing anything, we're just setting it out, flat betting it the entire time. Easy setup for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 5. You know where to put the bets, and so once you set them out, you really don't have to worry about it anymore, okay? Because whenever you set it out and they rake the table, and then all you have to do is put it back out again, so you can have your stacks of $90 sitting here ready to go, and you know, when they rake the table, go ahead and set your $90 back out there, and just keep going with it. All right, so there we have it. That is Comp Force 90 that Mike sent over to us. It's a fantastic strategy for comps, in my opinion. So give it a try on your next cruise. And if you got a strategy you want me to try out, send it to me at roulettecruising@gmail.com. I like a $300, $400, $500 buy-in. Of course, I want it to be, you know, 20 spins at least. But with this strategy here, we were able to go 50 spins for the session I recorded, and I went 50 spins before I recorded. So 100 spins on this one, and only down $280 for the entire time. So this is why I'm saying it's a really good comp strategy. All right, make sure to hit that like button for me. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to 35-to-1 Roulette Cruising. And until next time, happy cruising. We'll see y'all. Bye.